Well, here I am. I have sat here and I have tried to process everything that has happened since last night. Um, it's late. Trying to unwind the mind and not, go too far with things I would have said tonight. But things are still fresh in my mind because I've been thinking about where this team is really going this year. No intro is needed because this is a long discussion about the Philadelphia Eagles losing to the Atlanta Falcons 21-22. Okay, in a very close game, home opener. Nick Foles' retirement. So much important things happening in Philadelphia. And the way they played was very similar to what they did last year. Okay. I honestly don't think going through the first to the fourth quarter really makes any sense because I don't think I need to really be that detailed on what really happened in this game. Okay? I think the biggest problem with this team right now, okay, is the defense. Where was the pressure all day? Defensive line, we gave them a pass for that first game to say, you know what? We gave them a pass. The field conditions, all of that. I was willing to do that because it was the right thing to do. But man, nothing, no pressure. One sack for Milton Williams. Bryce Huff making $17 million a year for an assisted sack. Sorry, an assisted tackle. One assisted tackle for Bryce Huff. How many lies are we told during training camp from some of these guys? I just don't get it. The secondary, I can't really blame too much, okay? Obviously, we whiffed on a couple things, okay? The cornerbacks can only do so much when you have no pass rush all game. The Eagles have obviously put more resources into the secondary, and I thought they didn't really play that bad, okay? Besides Darius Slay on that last pass, okay, to Drake London, not even paying attention. I don't even know why was he staring in one spot and not covering the guy you were man to man on for that last play? Do not destroy Saquon Barkley for what he did in this game. For the moment, yes. Is he part of the reason why we lost? Technically, yes. That big drop. Here's what really pisses me off about the run game. Saquon is such a talent, okay, between receiving the football and obviously rushing with the football in his hands, okay? The game starts and they don't even run him in the first series, period. 3 stupid passes, okay? They strayed away from the run. And then at the end of the game, okay, and then they started to really get some runs with him. Every time even in the first half where he literally got the ball, 10 yards, 9 yards, 10 yards. I mean, then he had to take himself out because he was like, he was dying. Then Kenneth Gainwell came in for a couple plays. But that's what you get out of Saquon Barkley, passing to Saquon Barkley in space. Even when there's a guy like Saquon Barkley caught the ball with a guy a foot in front of him while catching it, still made the guy miss and still got the first down or close to the first down. Okay? That pass to Saquon at the end of the game was unnecessary. You were on what, like 10, 11, whatever it was, the 5, the 6, whatever it was. You needed a few yards for a first down, and you decide to throw the ball to Saquon Barkley, and he drops it, where you could have just ran the ball normally, not only because the Falcons had no timeouts. You pass the ball, he drops it, the clock stops with a minute 30, minute 40 something. To pretty much the Eagles lose the game after that, where you could have ran the football past the first down marker was on the 4, the 5, whatever it was, the 3. They could have got the first down right there. Even if they didn't get it, the clock would still run. The clock would still run. That's just really bad clock management. Okay, really bad clock management. They could have literally just ran the ball, and even if the Eagles didn't get the on fourth down, they couldn't get it, okay? If they couldn't get the fourth down, you're off another 35 seconds, whatever, 40 seconds, and then what? The Falcons would only have 1 minute to get downfield and score. But who knows at that point if it would have took longer time, okay? So the usage of Saquon It's almost reminding me of Nick in 21, where we barely ran the football last year, barely running the football consistently with your best back. You have a $12 million back. Saquon Barkley is a stud. We all know that. We don't need to say anything more about him. The offensive line, I thought Juergens was probably the best player. I thought he played really good. These penalties that they have been catching these teams this past weekend, okay, these offensive linemen that are going upfield, getting a penalty. The Eagles were penalized, 4 or 5 times for the offensive line. So that was real crappy because it really messed up a lot of these drives, to be honest with you. And it seems like the referees are just looking for that. Okay? Jalen Hurts, the coaching staff, Jalen Hurts is having an issue right now. And this is on multiple people in this game. Okay? Not only does the defense give no pressure, putting more pressure, gives no pressure, then you're making the offense do more work at this point when you're giving up easy points. Jalen Hurts has an issue climbing in the pocket. He's not used to not throwing to A.J. Brown. It seems like he's more comfortable throwing to Devontae Smith. He's never really thrown to a wide receiver 3 consistently. Jahan Dotson had one catch in this game. One. How much time does Jahan Dotson need? We traded for him for moments like this. If you have injuries to your 1A and A.J. Brown, to your 1B and Devontae Smith, and they didn't even really do much of anything with Jahan Dotson. It's either he's a decoy or they literally have no game plan for him whatsoever. Jalen Hurts rolling to his right, always with the play not going anywhere. I think the one time he rolled to his right and had that completed pass was to Devontae Smith. Okay? I think the Eagles had 70 yards passing in the first half. I don't think they deserve to win this game. I honestly don't. First quarter, you have a chance to put 3 points on the board. You don't even kick the field goal. You go for it on 4th down. Ridiculous. You know what I mean? For that type of stupidity, it's almost like I don't even know what to say about it anymore. Jalen Hurts running with the football in his hands. I thought Jalen Hurts was clutch on actually 3 plays. One was the Devontae Smith touchdown back in the end zone, and 2 of them were rushing touchdowns. Sorry, just big runs from Jalen Hurts. He had 40-something yards rushing or something like that in this game, maybe a little bit more than that. Your quarterback is getting hit too much, man. Way too much. This was the issue we had last year. Stop with the read option keeper. Stop with the QB draws. Yet again, another week, Jalen Hurts taking unnecessary hits. Jalen Hurts doesn't need to put the team on his back. The coaches are handicapping the offensive situation that they feel like Jalen Hurts has to do that, but he really doesn't have to whatsoever. It's absolutely ridiculous. Jalen Hurts throwing in double coverage for an interception at the end of the game, just hawking it downfield. Come on, man. It's the same play I saw from last year. Throwing a bomb downfield to get that easy cop-out first down, and you throw a pick in double coverage. 3 picks for Jalen Hurts in 2 games already. I don't think the coaching staff is helping behind it. We heard from the press conference of Nick Sirianni, is Kellen Moore in charge of play calling? He said yes. Do I really believe this? I never saw Kellen Moore do this with the Chargers. I never saw Kellen Moore do this with the 4 years he was in Dallas. Never, ever, ever. Ever. And yet he's doing it. So how much is Nick actually involved in this offense? Because now I'm a little worried playing these next 2 games in New Orleans and Tampa Bay. Because I'm telling you right now, they end up in that bye week okay, with 2 more losses on top of it, I don't know what I'm going to say about it. How does someone not put their foot in somebody's ass from how they played these last 2 weeks? Did the offense play better than the defense? Yes, because at least the offense did something. The defensive line did nothing. This is what happens when you get rid of Fletcher Cox. This is what happens when I'm having a brain fart here because I'm just so aggravated. You get rid of Fletcher Cox. You draft Jalix Hunt. You put a lot of faith into Nolan Smith. You literally change Bryce Huff out of position because he's not a coverage edge. He's not a coverage edge guy. And he looked like crap. Okay? Josh Sweat's making $13, $14 million fully guaranteed, no pressure. Jordan Davis, no pressure. Jalen Carter, from what he did last week and got some pressures, no pressure, nothing. Your edge position is a complete joke. It's unfortunate. But how much can I put in this secondary? You know, Avonte Maddox gets hurt in the second half. DeJean actually comes in and actually covers the guy really well. I thought he did really good. Isaiah Rodgers was actually supposed to start at the second corner spot. And guess what? They stuck with Quinyon Mitchell because they love him. I thought Zach Bond played okay. You're not going to get much out of your linebackers downhill, out of Nakobe Dean that whiffed on some tackles, on some coverages and penalties. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson obviously had the missed wide-open tackle one-on-one, second week straight, for a touchdown, gave up a touchdown on a one-on-one missed tackle, and then had that 4th and 1 big hit, which pretty much, to me, won the damn game. But, of course, the Eagles have to make it way harder for us later in the game. This is only week 2, so I could be mad, but this is only week 2. I can't go further than what I have seen to say that, is this going to stay like this? Are the Eagles actually going to have a dominating game? I mean, really, right now, the Eagles actually have they're actually 1-point favorites against the Saints, which is a complete joke. Complete joke. If the Saints can put up 40-something points each game, the last 2 games, they put up, 90-something points? Or I forgot what it was. Saints are doing really well right now. If the Eagles play like that, they could put up probably 60 points on the Eagles at this point. I mean, no joke. But my biggest question is Vic Fangio and that defensive line. My big question is Jalen Hurts, Kellen Moore, and Nick Sirianni. Your quarterback can't climb the pocket. Your quarterback bails out too early. I mean, seriously, why make things harder for Jalen Hurts? And Hurts isn't helping himself in this whole entire thing either because he looks lackluster. When he's running with the football in his hands, he doesn't look fast. He looks like he's at quarter speed the most. When I saw the open practice for the Philadelphia Eagles, he looked way faster than that. I don't know what's going on, what's happening, okay? But this isn't it. I do not believe, and I don't know what to say. So because there are a lot of people that defend Nick Sirianni, if I defend Nick Sirianni, people will not defend Jalen Hurts. Like, that's what I'm saying. I feel like there is a collaborative effort somewhere because I'm telling you right now, that little pamphlet colored square book that he has, that he always writes in during the games, I feel like there could be a distinct communication between Nick Sirianni and Kellen Moore to call some old plays from last year. I love how Britton Covey was involved in this offense, but guess what? They threw the same pass to him 3 times. 3 times on the same drive. I have never seen an offense this vanilla, I'm telling you right now, If the Eagles go into the bye week, okay, 1-3, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. There is no, you give this another 2 weeks to see if they could stand up to New Orleans, to see if they'll make changes. And all I think is about last year when the 49ers exposed the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles had all this time with a playoff berth, everything in front of them. What they had on their side was time. And did they make adjustments? Did they change anything? They did not change anything. Kirk Cousins had all day to throw in this game. Bijan ran all over us. What did we say? We said stop Bijan and get pressure on Kirk. I have never seen. It's already enough. The Eagles have already screwed up enough things that the Eagles have held titles towards, which is the Eagles were never beaten by the Jets in franchise history. And guess what? It happened last year when the Eagles took them lightly. Number two, and the Eagles obviously let Kirk Cousins look like a primetime champion. Okay? I can't blame coverage too much because how can I blame corners that much? I got to rely on a cornerback and watch a cornerback carefully and get ready to yell at him because he can't cover for 8 to 15 seconds. It just doesn't go that way. Your defensive line gets no pressure. You're telling me the one thing I don't like is this scheme from Vic Fangio. I do not like it. I've never liked it since the Eagles started this stupid scheme back in 21. And with the mastermind behind it, and you're telling me how many blitzes did Fangio do in this game? Because it wasn't much. And when they tried to, it was ugly. Totally ugly. That game last week was so much better than what we saw. The Eagles did not deserve to. They did not deserve to win. Lose this. Sorry, they deserve to lose this game. I can't even think right now. So please give me a second. I'm tired. I'm frustrated. I'm angry. It's a huge headache. Okay, it's a huge headache. I don't know what to say anymore. This is only week 2, and this is what we look like. Forget the offseason program and, the Eagles aren't gelled enough and because they didn't practice enough together. No, this is looking like a bigger problem, okay? This is looking like a bigger problem right now. You're telling me, like, A.J. Brown doesn't play, and there's literally – what happened to this upgraded offensive mindset in Kellen Moore? And I'm looking at charts and what he did with – I'm looking at so many different things, what happened with L.A. and honestly, really a lot of positive things. And what he did with Dallas for 4 years. Like, is it serious? Are they using plays from last year? That's the question right now. I don't care what Nick has to say about, is Kellen Moore controlling the plays? Yeah, Kellen Moore's calling the plays. Yeah, he's calling the plays. My next question to that question, because they shouldn't, the beat writers and that post-game press conference should have not been done with any of that. They should have asked, hey, are you working in collaboration with Kellen Moore? Are you calling plays? Are you giving him your certain amount of plays? How does the play calling actually work in game? Some line of questioning like that. I think the media has to push a little bit more on this because all they're going to do is blame Saquon Barkley for it. Okay, yes, Devontae Smith, honestly, he dropped one in the end zone, but I got to say, Jesse Bates had a really good cover on him. His arm was inside the catch and ripped it right out easily. I can't blame Devontae Smith. I have to praise Jesse Bates for that because it was actually a really good play. It's just a disaster, guys. I don't even know how. I can't believe we're actually going through this again. Last week we gave them a pass because it was the first game. It was a coin toss game. And, the Eagles came out with the win. But Atlanta, it seems like the defensive line's been ignored. or they're just not coached right, or they're just not going to be consistent. I don't know what's wrong with this defensive line, but that is the bigger problem than the offense. The offense, I feel like the little things you can fix. Jalen Hurts' little things that he could do in the pocket, they can fix, but he's got to trust himself to do it. He's not used to throwing to other receivers. And the reason why he tries to throw, after rolling out to the right is because there's really no interference in front of him, because he can read the field better when there's nobody in front of him. But I'm sorry, you're getting paid the money that you're getting paid. You better stay in that pocket. You better climb up in that pocket. And I don't care what defensive linemen have their hands in, their hands in the air, and they're trying to. You have to work that in. You have to work all of that in. This is not going to work like this all year. This was an embarrassing loss. And even if they won the game, guys, I would have acted the same exact way to say that if they did win this game, which reminded me, especially at the end of this game, like Seattle, totally reminded me of that huge moment in Seattle. Just, you gave Kirk Cousins a minute 30-something, a minute 40-something on the clock, plenty of time, 3 plays, no pressure, already on the other side of the field. 4 or 5 plays, you score. And 5 plays, they scored. That's how insane it is. So I'm on the ropes right now. We're going to find out more news about what's going to happen, and just really find out some tape, watch some tape, and look at what's going on here. That some of this game was absolutely atrocious. I'm looking at defensive line. I'm looking at Jalen Hurts. I'm looking at obviously the coaching staff, because goddamn, dude, like they didn't even try to open anybody else up. AJ Brown's not playing, and that's it. That's what your offense looks like. You don't give anybody another shot. Really, Johnny Wilson played, didn't do much. Jahan Dotson had 1 catch, and AJ Brown and Devontae Smith caught it where it mattered. You know what I mean? He had some leaping receptions, but AJ Terrell was all over him the whole entire game. So who really steps up in this moment? Hurts feels like he has to force the ball. I don't know, but seems like what's happening. Not all the time, but as of recent, it has since last season, really. Because we have played ugly and ugly and ugly nonstop. I'm not even upset about the loss. I'm more upset on this coaching staff and how they got these guys prepared and the decisions they made. Okay, I forgot to say it. Yeah, Hassan Reddick, you don't have no closer in this defensive line. There's no closer, period. That's going to take over a game. Minute and a half left, 4th down. And you always counted on Hassan Reddick for those moments. You know what I mean? Those big moments. So, 2 mediocre games. The first game actually being more playable as the second. And better decisions have to be made with this coaching staff. Better decisions have to be made towards these players and what they're doing. Jalen Hurts needs to be scoped out in a totally different way, because playing like that, he ain't going nowhere. This team is not going nowhere with that type of play right now. And that's where I'm at. The Eagles lose 21-22 by a point. It was a back and forth game all game. Doesn't mean that these teams were playing well, but Philadelphia had to do a lot more in this game, and I thought they kind of did. I don't know, man. I'm sick to my stomach over it. It's who's running this offense, bro? Just tell me who's running it. I'm telling you right now, I don't even know if I believe that this is Kellen Moore's full of fucking. I don't even know if I could actually tell the truth to say that this is Kellen Moore's offense fully. I don't care what Nick said at the press conference. I don't care what he said. So that's where I'm at with the situation. I'm gonna make videos this week. I'm gonna literally ignore all of the BS bullshit on the news media, what they're going to say, because I already know who they're gonna put blame on. Okay? Saquon Barkley was the best offensive player from our offense this week. The other night. 100%. Okay? You lose these next 2 games, I don't know if Nick's going to last. And then we're going to find out if Kellen Moore was held back by Nick Sirianni. Oh yeah, like if the front office and Jeffrey Lurie and obviously Howie Roseman wanted Nick to work with a coach, you picked the wrong guy for the job. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't know. So that's going to be it for me. I'm tired. I'm stressed out. I'm very upset over Nick Sirianni, Jalen Hurts' play, and Fangio not blitzing enough, and this defensive line was atrocious. The worst group on the field today was the defensive line. It was disgusting play. Horrible. So that's where I'm at, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. If you guys haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel for more news every single day. I am not going to hide and just walk on eggshells over caring about what people think. If somebody likes Sirianni, I say I hate the guy, that someone's going to defend Sirianni. If I say something about Hurts, someone's going to defend Hurts and say I just hate Hurts all the time. That's not the case. But the writing's on the wall where you have a quarterback that can't see the field, that doesn't know how to throw to other receivers, that doesn't know how to throw from inside the pocket and climb the pocket, and his pocket awareness is shill to nothing when he has to literally roll out and go nowhere with the football every single time. That defense is a damn disgrace. They should be pissed off. It's a joke, man. That's where I'm at. You guys have a fantastic day, and we'll have more videos going forward. You guys enjoy it. Shakes, what up, follow side. Peace out, guys. Peace.